caution flag to mix things up.
Still on the lead lap, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Ron Hornaday, Todd Bodine, Matt Crafton, and Timothy Peters. A great battle between the two of them for 5th and 6th. Mike Skinner, Eric Almirola, Stacy Compton are your 9 on the lead lap.
You can almost look up to the 5th or 6th spot.
Whoa, problems for Timothy Peters. Looks like something happened to the right front. He shot to the right.
He just got sideways and had to chase that truck up the hill.
Back in your groove there, Bubba. Nice and smooth. We'll be all right.
And just remember, that took his breath.
And mine. Take a look at this one more time.
Spectacular save there, Hoss. Get back in your groove. We'll get him. Don't worry, buddy.
Look at that thing right down on the bottom of the racetrack, and it just steps out on him. And that's severe. You don't catch one from that angle very often. He made a great save, didn't overcorrect it. Now he's going to have to run 3 or 4 laps and make sure that he understands that his truck's back under him. Next 2 or 3 laps aren't going to be any more fun than that turn was for him because he doesn't know what he's got.
There's a battle for 11th right now. Rick Crawford has the 10th position and is the lead truck as far as the lucky dog. If the caution were to come out, these guys right here are battling for the 11th spot. That's Johnny Sauter on the inside, James Busher on the outside.
And those two want to go get Crawford. That's their goal. They get this spot sorted out, and then they have to get after Crawford to try to get back on the lead lap. We're down to less than just over 30 laps to go, so these guys are getting serious about positioning themselves for the end of this race.
Yeah, and then neither one of these guys wants to give up that position. As you mentioned, they want to settle this position and then go up there and try to chase Rick Crawford down.
They can't sort it out, though, side by side. Busher's doing a nice job on the outside.
See, Rick is way ahead of these two drivers. So right now, Rick Crawford is saying, please let us have a caution flag.
Johnny Sauter, one of 8 drivers who will also run in the race tomorrow, the nationwide race.
How about this? Now here comes Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick to the inside. Kyle Busch on the outside. Harvick trying to take over the lead at Nashville.
Outside corner.
That was a close run. Brett Butler in the 47 on the inside. That slowed the momentum down to that 2 of Kevin Harvick. Here comes Busch on the outside again.
Plus he was on the inside of Kyle Busch. Loses a little bit of downforce on the rear of that charter truck.
Now we also know that Harvick's truck's a little bit loose, and look at him back off real early getting in that corner. That's because he's loose. If he tries to drive down to that corner beside Kyle Busch, he'll lose the back end of that truck. So he took a cautious approach to the entry of that corner and gave up for now. But you know, Phil, like I said, lap after lap, that thing will get tighter and tighter, and he's just going to get better and better. And Kyle Busch knows that. That's why he's trying to hold him back now.
Kyle Busch working his way by Norm Benning in the 57, as does the 2 of Kevin Harvick. It's heating up front at Nashville. Stay with us on Speed. April 10th on Speed, NASCAR Race Day recaps the biggest and most controversial moments of the season so far. NASCAR Race Day goes by the Home Depot live from Phoenix, April 10th at 5 Eastern, only on Speed. Kyle Busch holding on to a 1-second lead over Kevin Harvick, and Ron Hornaday trying to close the gap and get into that battle between owner and competitor. Kyle Busch out front. We'll be back for the final laps from Nashville after this. Welcome back to the Nashville 200. It's Kyle Busch out front. He has led 111 laps up to this point on the Nashville Superspeedway. Kevin Harvick is a full 2nd behind him and mired back in some of that lap traffic.
Ooh, these guys had a hard time getting through that traffic. You can see Kyle Busch there enjoys a couple of second lead now over Harvick after Harvick got 3 wide and half sideways.
Battle for 3rd right there. Ron Hornaday gets hung up a little bit behind the 46 of Willie Allen. That allows Todd Bodine to close in.
And then Todd has to deal with Willie off the turn, and that allows Ron to drive away.
It's all about when you catch the traffic. If you can catch him in the straightaway, clear him before you get to the corner, it won't slow you down any. If you have to follow him through the corner, we've seen that happen time and time again, how much ground these guys can lose.
These first 5 or 6 trucks, Phil, right now are as close lap time-wise as we've seen all day long. At one point, a couple of laps ago, 31:30 was leading, 31:30 was running 6th. Timothy Peters has gotten around. Matt Crafton is up to the 5th spot, and he seems to have one of the faster trucks in that top 5. But he's got a lot of ground to make up, not a lot of time to do it.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, I was just asking Eric Phillips a moment ago, do you pit if a caution comes out right now? He said, I'm not really sure, and he jumped right down off the box. He's talking it over with Rick Wren about what they would do. The big question here is there's not very many trucks on the lead lap, guys. Probably 7 or 8 right now. So that would mean some of those guys are going to come. You know Skinner's going to come and get tires. These guys trying to decide what to do with their leader out front. You know, whatever Kyle Busch does, a few of them will do the opposite.
You know, these guys right now are running the fastest trucks on the racetrack, running about a 31.3, 31.4. Right after the restart, they were running 30.50 and 30.60. We're talking about 3/4 of a second. I think if you get a caution anytime before, especially before about 8 or 10 laps to go, I think you got to come in and put tires on.
I do too. I think pitting would be the way to go with the double file restart. And the fact that there aren't very many, it might be the perfect time to pit, even if there's only 7 or 8 to go.
These guys are both a lap down, but battling for the 14th spot. James Buescher in the Great Clips number 90, just in front of that 3. Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet of Austin Dillon.
Austin strung together a couple top 16 finishes. The last 2 races, had a 10th at Atlanta, 16th last week at Martinsville. Actually had a better run than that going. Got caught up in an incident late on, not of his making. So good solid effort here again for Austin Dillon.
But he was almost caught in a couple that were of his making, but he got through those, and then he got one that he didn't have anything to do with. That's the way it goes at Martinsville, isn't it?
Working around lap traffic. Austin Dillon has to go a little bit wider to avoid the 47 of Brett Butler.
Rick Crawford's currently running in the 10th spot. He's been able to hang on to that Aaron's lucky dog spot, Phil.
He's been patiently waiting for that caution to come out to get him back on the lead lap, but it just hasn't come.
Well, I'm on his side. I want to see one too. I want to make these crew chiefs earn their money down there in pit road. We're going to come in and get 4. We're going to get 2. We're going to stay out. What are we going to do? I love that when that happens.
Again, out front, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick as we take a look at Rick Crawford. Again, the first truck 1 lap down. He's running in the 10th spot.
It's a nice throwback look on that 14th truck. Tom Mitchell's done so much for Rick Crawford. Rick Crawford loves racing in the Truck Series. Got a big win at Daytona in that truck. One of the most memorable wins for me was when he took the win at Martinsville after being in a huge crash a couple weeks before at Atlanta. Some great
with a broken foot.
Great moments for Rick in the Truck Series.
There's Stephen Wallace, the Red Top Auto Auction number 15 of Billy Blue. That's the second truck, team truck, to the 51 of Eric Almirola.
Brent Kozlowski, 29, again in a Dodge this week.
Brad hoping to do a few more Truck Series races.
Yeah, I think he said he would run 4, and he felt really, really good about this truck. They felt like they had it tuned up well. That pit road penalty, he just hasn't been able to overcome that. It put him back to the back of the field. He got lapped by just a truck length or 2 and never was able to get it back.
Remember, we had a 71-lap green after that pit stop that he got penalized on. As you mentioned, that's exactly why he's being shown right now a lap down. There's a good battle for 4th right there. There's Todd Bodine, the Germain Auto Toyota, in the 4th spot. And there's Timothy Peters. He got by Matt Crafton, Michael, as you said a few moments ago. Looks like he has a really, really good truck, but he's going to run out of time.
A part of having a really good truck is having it be loose on the restart. And we saw what too loose on a restart means when Timothy Peters got sideways trying to race around underneath another truck. He lost a lot of momentum, a lot of ground there, and he hadn't been able to get it all back.
Again, running second, Kevin Harvick trying to chase down Kyle Busch, right?
And Rick, he's really not in a position to give any kind of challenge to that 18. Harvick on the radio saying the right front of the truck is really bouncing as it goes through the center. He said, pass along to Ernie. I think it's a right front shock deal. Apparently a little information there to go to Ernie Cope. Of course, Butch Hilton calling the shots tonight. Harvick said, sorry, too late now. Nothing we can do about it. I'll just ride it out.
He's got a little bit over a second cushion on the 3rd place truck, his teammate, as this battle for 4th continues.
Timothy Peter trying to get by Todd Bodine. Todd Bodine had been in front in the points, but Timothy Peters takes that back after his run in Martinsville. Timothy Peters coming into this race as our point leader. And another strong run for Timothy Peters in the 2010 season.
We talked early on, Timothy's going to get to the inside of Todd in that battle for 4th.
Right there.
There's a lap truck ahead of him. Can he clear him before they get to it?
Still there. Quarter. Come on.
Timothy Peters
Yes.
gets the
And
spot. Let's see if he can move out by
Still down there on the bottom.
that 39. Trying to get by Ryan Sieg. James Buescher in the number 90 Greg Clips. Again, he was one of our speed spotlights from earlier today.
That was my guy right there, James Busher. Again, he's going to come with his own team, Turner Motorsports.